Okay, the plan is simple. Basically, we want an elevator, but not an elevator that goes off a little cable thing, you know? Boop, 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 boop. No, we want things that got 4 screws, one in each corner. Now, we're gonna have a motor in the bottom. That thing's gonna spin the motor and go whoosh, and allow it to go up and down. We're gonna control it with a little remote that I'm gonna build, and we're just gonna see if it works. Right? I think it might work. It could work. It probably won't work. What do I mean by a screw elevator? Well, here's the basic idea, right? So you're gonna have a box and it's gonna house a motor. That motor is gonna have a rod that has the ability to spin, right? So it's gonna spin. On that, we're gonna put a gear. Imagine this is a gear, right? And then in each corner, we're gonna have smaller gears that'll also spin in the opposite direction. The only thing that matters is that these are all spinning in the same opposite direction. Whatever is positive, negative doesn't actually matter. But what does matter is that these are gonna be rods, right? So they're all gonna spin the same direction. If any one of these rods is gonna look like this. So you've got the gear on the bottom, and then on it, it'll be threaded. It's like a screw. And what the hope is that when this thing spins, all 4 at the same time, we'll have another elevator, right? So you have an elevator, and then it's gonna have 4 holes that are gonna be threaded as well. And so what we want is as the screws are gonna spin, because they're spinning it the same way, it's just gonna cause the elevator to go up. That's the plan. It might work, not really sure yet, but you know, it'd be nice. It'd be really nice, I'd argue. All right, we got 2 concepts. So this one, if I stick it on the ground and I spin them at the same time, the platform rises. Cool. So that, whatever. Next up, I stuck 4 screws together with a gear. So you just a little gear in there, shove it in here, boom. And I have a thing. If I spin just 1 screw, the platform will lower, and the platform rises. Now, is it good? No. The gear's broken, a lot of it's broken. But you can see spinning 1 screw makes everything go higher. Cool. That's a concept. We can work with this. This could work. All right. Time to show off the modeling. You guys missed what oh, there it is. Oh, you missed it? Oh, 3 minutes of footage. You guys can slow it down, figure it out yourself. There you go. There's your modeling footage. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, so pretty obvious question. How does that actually work? Like, how does spinning a screw cause a platform to go up and down? Well, I'm gonna explain that to you because I need video time, because like right now we're sitting at a good minute 15. That's not enough, that's a YouTube short. So, step 1, need a motor. Why? Because motors are stronger than I am, at least at spinning. But this thing can spin faster than I can, sadly. So, you need a motor. I printed a housing. All the files are gonna be in the description because, actually I don't even have to do that. Whatever, you all get them for free. So, you take a gear. Little axle thing here makes it stronger. I learned that the hard way. We're at we printed there's 2 more somewhere. I don't know, my desk is full of trash, but whatever. You want this embedded. Now, you're gonna slip it onto this metal thing. Axle is the word. All right, next step. So, the way this works is potentially simple. So, if you have a thing standing still and you spin the rod moves. If the rod stands still and the thing is able to move, it will move down. So like in this example, this entire housing, that's black on black, so it's nearly impossible to see, but whatever, this entire thing just keeps the screws stable. That way the platform, which is freely movable, can move up, down. This camera angle is terrible for my face, but like, it makes stuff like this so much easier. So, if you have a thing that can move and you make the screw stand still, then you'll have that up-down motion which we want. because it's awesome. So, how do you keep the screw standing still? A couple ways. One, you've got this thing. I'll show the white one. Yeah, this one should be easier. So, you got a hole, and that's just gonna slip onto this thing down here. So, we've now restricted the ability to move left and right. But one more problem, it can still technically go up and down. How do you do that? Just with one of these. It's a non-threaded whatever, and it's just gonna slip right on there. All right, next, you actually need a thing that can go up and down. This is the elevator. It's hollow on the inside. It doesn't look like that because you get a top-down view. Whatever, you're just gonna stick it on top, and then give it a little rotation. That way it can evenly rest on all the screws. That's looking pretty even. All right, so now you've got a thing, but we need to make it move. How do we do that? Electronics. Do I understand how these work? Not even a little. This red thing right here took a lot of effort to get to work. I don't actually understand it, but I'm gonna post the video that I used because she was awesome. I don't remember her name, but you'll find it if you care. So there's a lot of electronics here. It's some nerd stuff that I don't really care about. But anyways, so you need two sources of power. One, HDMI. This lets this computer think. And second is an outlet power. This lets the motor run. All right, now we've got our remote control. Up arrow, down arrow. This line's of respect, so we're gonna go down. Now we're gonna go up. Up. Now, from my perspective, it's kind of janky. I don't actually know how this looks, but I can do that. It's a phone, I can move it. All right, so now, right, down, up. I'll off this, wires look like a mess. So, two issues. One, wobbly. Solution, we're working on right now. We got these walls, it just slips right on over, but you know, I got walls. And then we got a lid, so this is all gonna slip on. And so now, it looks a bit sexier. The second issue is this is an iPhone audio, so I don't know how well it's picking up. This thing is like randomly moving. I don't fully know why. I need to figure that out. But, so two issues, both of them are getting solved. So we have a working elevator. Alright, I'm going to be explaining how this code works. But, to prove I'm not a nerd, I'll be doing push-ups the whole time. Alright, we got direction, we got step pin. This step pin is going to say how long it takes to turn. This direction pin is going to turn it counterclockwise or clockwise. Now we got steps per revolution. This is based on motor specific, but my personal motor takes 200 steps to make one full revolution. This could be different per motor. Now we got time next. This is how long it takes for one full revolution. 2 seconds, 2,000 milliseconds. Now channel pin 11 and 12, all this is gonna do is say, hey, I'm moving clockwise or counterclockwise based on if this one is a closed circuit or this one's a closed circuit. Now we got your standard void setup. This sets direction and step pin to output voltage, and 11 and 12 is input pull-ups. All this pull-up does is it inverts the signal, so if it's pressed, it's off, and if it's not pressed, it's on, which just makes it easier. Don't remember how, I did this like a month ago. Now we got this direction pin as high. This just means that by default, the pin is going to spin counterclockwise. Now, we got if the channel 11, this is the up button, is pressed, this direction pin is set to high. High means counterclockwise in motor talk. And then we got this loop, which just says, hey, turn 200 steps and then stop. And it's going to do all these things for every 200 steps. And we got the same here, else if, but that's on the case where the bottom pin is closed, meaning that it's going down instead of up. If you're wondering why I'm out of breath, I already did the push-ups because I was so confident that this would take about 2 minutes. All right, the extenders are fresh off the printer. Y'all are about to see my live reaction to if they work. Okay, they slip in, looks like. Trying to be super careful. I've actually lost count of how many of these I've broken. Okay. So the entire project rides on this working. So we've just doubled the length of the screws. So, you know, because obviously the whole point of this is that it can go up infinitely, but if it can't, well then we don't have a project. So, all right, this is as high as it should have gone. And it works. It works. It works. Yeah. Yeah. You can't hear. You can't hear it. You can't do it, but it works. That's actually insane. That is so cool. I mean, that's so cool. All right, so it may look like a lot of stuff here, but it's really not that hard to assemble an elevator. So first up, you got your box, and you just stick your motor right in. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Next up, you're gonna take this thing with the weird geometry at the end, and you're just gonna slip it in. Just gotta find where it rests, and then it just goes right in. Next up, you've got 4 of these rods. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, next up, you take this and you slip it on, and it just taps right in. Next up, you're gonna take your elevator and you're gonna just set it where it rests nicely on all 4. Then you're gonna just turn on the elevator and allow it to move downward. About halfway is fine. Then you're gonna start playing with your extenders. So one at a time, they should just all slip in. Actually, the black is hard to see. And you do gotta be careful with these because they're susceptible to breaking. And that is it. This one. All right, that's good. All right, and then every 2 floors, I like to play one of these. This is just 2 walls connected. They just slip right on and fall into the cracks. And then you're gonna do it all again. I will say be very careful. I cannot explain how many of these rods I've broken. I actually can, there's a pile over there, I'll show y'all. These aren't designed the best, but considering how small it is, this is the best y'all got. Why is it? All right, it might be easier to just do it like this. Oh gosh. Okay, sometimes I guess it's easier to do it outside, which is good, so I'll actually take this off. This is my first time doing a full-on assembly, I will not lie. Yeah, because you want it to be where there's 0 cracks at all. Alright, that works. So might as well just assemble them all here. Okay, yeah, it is easier to assemble these outside of. Alright, once your gear rods are all on, you're going to take your walls in some segments and just slip them on. And then with the roof, mine got a bit broken in printing, so I had to like hammer it on, so it's broken, but generally it's not going to be this difficult because the files I'm giving y'all are going to be updated. And then you're going to take something like some tweezers and just move the rods in place. And then the second they all are resting over the holes, they'll fall in. And then you just notch it in, give it a nice little tap, And that is a fully assembled 4-story tall elevator. All right, so last time I went through for the carabiner one by one, explaining every single failure. That was super boring, so instead here I got some numbers. We've got 1 case. This one wasn't adequate. We've got 4 gears. These 3 didn't fit the right way. This 4th one was really close, but then I tried fusing it together with some Gorilla Glue and it didn't work. And we've got 20 rods. These weren't bad, they're about 15 minutes a pop print, but waste of plastic. This one was my favorite because this was me trying to actually custom make my own threaded rod. 100% worked, it's not very well. Yeah. Oh, and then this was another side project. It's a funnel, but I just like the way the supports came off. Looked like a little Coliseum. Just rests right in there. Not sure if I'm gonna use it, but it was a cool little side project. For the moment we've all been waiting for, a fully operational elevator. This is it. It completely works. 4 floors. Theoretically could go on forever with no limitations. It's powerful. And it is my baby. And we fixed everything. The gear issue, it's no longer doing that little spasm. The jerking issue of randomly swapping between floors, or, you know, not very good. It's perfect. It's responsive. Omnidirectional. This is a beautiful elevator and my pride and joy.